My name is Jeff Hamlin with FieldView, and I'm going to do a quick video here showing how FieldView combines with hardware from Greentronics to create spatial yield maps for pretty much any crop that is harvested with a harvester that passes the crop via conveyor belt into a truck in the field in real time. The examples I'm going to show you today are for potatoes, sugar beets, and tomatoes, but this whole system also would work for carrots, onions, grapes, tree nuts, and a variety of other crops as well. So we're going to start here with an example of potatoes, and what we have here is a potato field in Montana. The grower has windrowed 4 rows of potatoes into the path of the harvester. He's also harvesting the 4 rows that he is driving over at the time. And as we can see here, let's see if I can get this to play and not take the audio here. Here's the potato harvester in action. It's harvesting potatoes. They're getting cleaned up. All the dirt is getting cleaned off of them so that as we get as clean of potatoes as possible going into the truck. Now let me rewind that there. What happens here with the FieldView Greentronics system is the Greentronics hardware is installed on the digger itself, and it consists of a couple of different parts. Number one, a GPS on the machine so that we know where we are in the field and we can constantly get that location information to quantify how much yield is coming out of every part of the field and where we are in the field. Secondly, there's a speed sensor on the belt of this arm of the digger so that we can understand how fast that belt is moving and be able to understand how quickly those potatoes are coming out of the field and making their way into the truck. Third, there's a load cell that is installed on the arm of this digger towards the end. Basically, one of the rollers is replaced with a roller that has a load cell built into it, so we can measure in real time, multiple times per second, how much the potatoes weigh as they come out of the field at their cleanest point and go into the truck. So those are kind of the 3 hardware components that are used. And if we have location, belt speed, and the weight, the instantaneous weight as the potatoes are dumped into the truck, we can use that to create the spatial yield maps that we saw in a previous video. So let's show how that works. So he's going ahead, he's harvesting the potatoes. Here is, again, we can see what's on the horizon there, but we're going to see in a second the yield map that's being created, and here it is. So on the iPad, all that data is being combined to create this spatial yield map. So what happens is, when this grower finishes this field, whether it's a single digger in the field, it's 5 diggers in the field, does not matter, all of that information will be combined into a single yield map without the grower having to do any sort of moving of thumb drives, sitting down at a computer, trying to make data talk. It all happens automatically through the combination of FieldView software and Greentronics hardware on the potato digger. And so I'll just let this video play so you can kind of see the rest of it there. It's just creating the spatial yield map, and now he can see what my total tonnage was for the field, which is what potato growers usually get. But not only that, how my yield varied through the field, what my hot spots were, where the good spots and the bad spots were, and quantify exactly how different those parts of the field were. Let me get out of this to the, sorry, wrong one. Here we go. And let's try showing you a sugar beet digger. Very similar, and we'll go ahead and hit play here. These are sugar beets in Idaho. Slightly different equipment in the way that this works, but you can see FieldView here mapping the yield data in real time, so he can see where my good and my bad spots of the field are from a yield perspective. This is the sugar beet digger digging the beets, beating as much of the mud off of it as we can. So we're getting clean weights. There's, again, a conveyor belt system here that allows us to put load cells on, measure the speed of the belt, and then the sugar beets are dumped into the truck here. So we have all the information that we need. GPS, speed of belt, and instantaneous weight of the crop as it goes into the truck. That allows us to go ahead and combine and create a spatial yield map. The last one that I'll show you here, just to kind of complete the picture, is tomatoes in California. You can see the truck that's going to take the tomatoes. This is the tomato harvester. It's cleaning out all the dirt, the rocks, the green tomatoes. It's trying to just get the red tomatoes into the truck, getting the vines out of there. Here is the yield map that's being created. Now the yield map isn't being created here. This is the sorting process. The yield map is really being created here. Again, it's a similar system. We've got a conveyor belt that we can measure the speed of the belt. We've got a GPS on the harvester that tells us where we are in the field. And we've got load cells on the belt there that allow us to measure that instantaneous weight of the crop as it is going into the truck. Those three things combine to allow us to create these spatial yield maps that we saw here. This is showing me in real time how many tons of tomatoes are coming out of this field. So that's kind of how a quick overview of how FieldView combined with Greentronics allows us to create spatial yield maps for any crop that is harvested in this manner with a continuous flow of crop across a conveyor belt into an awaiting truck. Again, my name's Jeff Hamlin at FieldView. You can reach me at jeff.hamlin@Bayer.com if you have any questions. Thanks.